All right, I'd like to call to order the regular city council meeting for Monday, August 10th, 2026 at 6 p.m. If we could all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Holly, will you call the roll, please?
Ludwig?
Yes, here.
Haynes?
Here.
Good?
Here.
Van Osberg?
Here.
Rhines?
Here.
Gilroy?
Here.
Hanson?
Here.
All right, thank you so much, and welcome to our council member, Spencer Good, his first council meeting since being selected to fill our open seat. Moving right along, we've got approval of our agenda this evening, unless there are changes that need to be noted.
Move to approve.
Thank you so much. Do I have support?
Hey.
Yes.
I'd like to add something.
Okay. Is it an action item or a discussion item?
Discussion.
Okay. And what are you looking to add?
Under 8E, I'd like to discuss the issuance of certificates of occupancy for the Raleigh Riverwalk development.
You mean
9D?
9D discussion?
I mean,
9D?
no, 8. Oh, yes.
All right, so
9D is better.
9D. All right, so occupancy permits. Raleigh Road. Development. All right, so we have an item added as a discussion item. Yes.
Don't we need to vote on whether or not that gets added, and then we vote on adoption of the budget?
All right.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to accept the agenda as amended.
Okay, and do I have support?
Support.
All right. Holly, is this a roll call because we're amending it? Okay, Holly, will you call the roll for the amendment, please?
Haynes?
Yes.
Good?
Yes.
Van Osberg?
Yes.
Rhines?
Yes.
Gilroy?
Yes.
Hanson?
Yes.
Ludwig?
Yes.
All right, now I'm looking for a motion to approve the agenda as amended and submitted.
I think we just
You
did.
good?
Oh, okay, we don't have to do another, all right, okay. All right, well, I wasn't sure, you know, I mean, usually it's an aye vote and everything.
We
All
can
right.
just keep voting.
Oh, sure, right, you know, we'll see if it changes. All right, moving along, we've got audience participation, maximum of 5 minutes more presentation. Do I have anyone in the audience that would like to come forward at this time? Yes, if you could come, oh, that was a no. Okay, it was a hi, how you doing? All right, if there's no one, I'll move along. We've got our council meeting minutes of July 27th, 2026. I'm looking for a motion to approve unless there are changes that need to be noted.
Make a motion. Approve.
All right, thank you. Do I have support?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Terry, you had an opportunity to review our accounts payable for this week, or this meeting. Can you tell us where the money went?
Well, we were quite frugal this time around. We only spent $250,000.
All right.
But the killer on that is of the $250,000 that we spent, 80% of that, $200,000 went to other government units. The city itself only spent $50,000.
All right.
I had one question. There was a welding and repair. What in the world is a tink bucket?
Exactly,
It's what-
Exactly.
exactly. No, it's a bucket on the loader.
Yeah.
I don't know what's called a tank, but it's a bucket on the loader.
All right.
Okay.
Well, good.
Yeah, I told you I'd get the answer for you.
It's always great trivia questions and answers, so, you know.
I had to ask myself, so I knew we had a repair done, but I wasn't exactly.
Okay, that was $757, but that was my only comment on the whole thing.
All right.
So I'll make a motion to approve checks 79,177 to 79,193 and ACH 2404 to 2430 for a grand total of $254,855.09.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the support. Holly, will you call the roll, please?
Van Osberg?
Yes.
Rhines?
Yes.
Gilroy?
Yes.
Ludwig?
Yes.
Hanson?
Yes.
Haynes?
Yes.
Good?
Yes.
All right. We have about 4 items on our action items. Our first is going to be the Williamston Depot Museum lease agreement. We do have a memo in our packet from our city manager, John Hannafin. I do also see the museum president here, so if we do have questions, I'm sure that Mitch can answer those for us. I'll turn it over to our city manager.
Thank you, very pleased to present this item tonight. We've got a great partnership with the Williamston Depot. They do some really awesome things for preserving our history there. They have some great active programming. So lease is pretty straightforward. We did make an amendment
in December of 2022, where the city does pay the utilities for that building, and those are very minimal costs, about $100 a month, maybe. So the museum, per the lease, is responsible for any improvements. We did things on the exterior, like we redid the parking lot there, and also the sidewalk and for the steps in front, so the city does maintain those things. But again, happy to answer any questions you may have, but it's pretty straightforward, and it is a renewal for 5 years. One thing that is now absent is there's no reference to the Chamber of Commerce occupying the space. It's certainly, if that ever comes to being again, we could do that.
Okay, all right. I think this is pretty straightforward. Mitch, do you have anything you want to add while you're here?
Nope.
You guys haven't outgrown the space yet, right? We can still give you things that are of historical value and for the museum.
We were down there today, going through some Wayne Fate donations
Nice.
and scanning, so, yeah, so we're doing fine. I read through this, it looks good, thank you.
All right, great, thank you. I'm looking for a motion to move this forward.
Make a motion to approve the lease agreement with the Williamston Depot Board for the Depot Museum for the 5-year period of September 1st, 2026 to August 31st, 2031.
Support?
Thank you both, appreciate that. Any questions regarding this? Any discussion? No? Holly, will you call the roll, please?
Rhines,
Yes.
Gilroy,
Yes.
Ludwig,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Haynes,
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
Van Osberg,
Yes.
All right, thank you all so much, and we look forward to many more years of partnership with our Williamston Depot Museum. Next on our action item list is the second reading of our data center ordinance. Again, we have a memo in our packet from our city manager, John Hannafin. I'll turn it over to him.
Sorry for the rerun in the same time slot, but this should say that the second reading of the ordinance, nothing's changed from the last time. There were no suggested amendments at the table last time, and there was none during the previous 2 weeks. So what we've asked is that council approve the second reading of the ordinance amendment and set for publication.
Okay, I am looking for that motion if there are no questions by council. Yes, Scott?
Yeah, I do have a question, more of a comment, and that is that I'd be really enthused about having an ordinance here, buffering off from what was written to, for sound at night, from 6 till 2, like that, time period, or 2 to 6 there, and then groundwater. Because what I read was that the power that comes into communities is able to take advantage of smaller communities for data centers because they don't have ordinances. And I think it would be nice if we had ordinances, not, I mean, it looks like we're okay anyways, but still it'd be nice to show. Anyway, that's my opinion.
Okay, I'll go to John and then I'll come back to you.
There is it's section 5, I don't know where the heading is, but it's noise, and it says noise generated by the facility, et cetera, should not exceed 45 dBA measured at the property line on any adjacent parcel, and that's 24 hours.
So we don't need an ordinance if it's part of the, okay.
Okay, but good points to bring up, and I did like the idea about the groundwater, so I don't know if that's something we need to also look at. Dan, comments?
Well, and I think isn't it part of what we're approving tonight, in addition to what City Manager Hanford just said, aren't they also required to conduct a noise study on their own dime?
They are.
And we have to get, and that's
And
24,
groundwater,
yeah, and 24 hours a day, not just.
And to answer the spirit, the directness of the question, I mean, section 21, proof of environmental compliance includes compliance with part 31 of water resources protection, et cetera, soil erosion, county ordinance, wetlands. So the planning commission, now that Mr. Good's on council, we have 2 members that were on the commission that are on council now that put this together. And this isn't belts and suspenders, it's belts, suspenders, a parka, a top hat, and probably a straight jacket. So it's as protective as possible. We, scoured the state and the Midwest to put together the very best ordinance.
What about action by the township that doesn't include us? Are we in good shape in every way possible to deal with that?
In our situation, data centers at a hyperscale have incredible water usage, and so there's nothing on our border that currently has a water plant that can provide that at scale.
Okay.
And I would like to say thank you to Mr. Ludwig and Mr. Good for their work on Planning Commission to bring forward such good language and doing, due diligence for our community. I do appreciate that. Any comments from Councilman Ludwig or Good regarding this before I look for that motion?
I think it was addressed at the last meeting, but what the townships do is not up to us, but if they wanted our water, for example, that would be the purview of this city council, and so I think we can take heart in knowing that we can control things within our city limits.
All right, thank you. All right. I'm looking for a motion.
Make a motion to approve the second reading
Of the ordinance amendment.
Yeah, I'm on the wrong page.
Nope, that's okay, so.
Make a motion,
To approve this
second reading
for
for,
the zoning ordinance.
for the zoning ordinance
And,
to,
move to publication,
and
right?
Yep.
an ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance to regulate cryptocurrency, data mining facilities, and data centers, and move to publication of such.
Thank you. Yes, Terry.
No, move the publication, right. Oh, second.
All right, thank you. If there's no other discussion, Holly, will you call the roll, please?
Gilroy,
Yes.
Ludwig,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Haynes,
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
Van Allsburg,
Yes.
Rhines,
Yes.
All right, next in our packet is a first reading for overnight camping ordinance amendment. I'm gonna turn this over to our city manager, and he will give a little bit of detail as to why this is coming before us.
Yeah, thank you. Just by way of background, we currently don't have anything of this nature in our ordinance, code of ordinances. So discussion with Chief Weiss, we thought it would be prudent to have that. I mean, we do say that the parks are closed after 10 o'clock, but it doesn't contemplate, any of the things that are listed in the ordinance, which is camping, hammocks, tarps, et cetera. And then this would be inclusive of all city-owned and city-controlled properties, and there's 11 of them listed there. This is the first reading of the ordinance. I mean, Chief Weiss is here, he can answer questions. We haven't had any specific issues with this yet, but, that's always a possibility, the times that we live in.
All right. Chief, I'll go down to you. Any comments that you'd like to add regarding this?
I think the city manager covered it great.
Okay.
I did consult with other cities or townships around the state to get examples of ordinances they used. This is kind of a melding of those ordinances, and it's just it's something I think we need. And why the sign says parks close at 10, it doesn't really mean anything.
All right, great. Well, I appreciate the good work and the quickness of bringing this forward to our council. I'm looking for, yes, Terry.
I'm surprised we didn't have this in there already.
Well,
It is a pretty thick book, right?
no one was more surprised than I when I looked this up in our court ordinances book, and the only thing that our ordinance refers to in parks is a park bench from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. There's no other language about being in the
That's it?
parks. No.
Okay.
Yes, Spencer.
To either of you, do we know if any neighboring townships or cities in Ingham County have similar language?
Ingham County, I can't answer all of them. I just know the ones that I looked on social media and or Google search. But looking at, I did do news articles and media releases, and I think a majority of the places are headed this way.
Okay.
Great.
Good idea. Good
I
idea.
know that we always make sure that we check everything, and
Yeah,
Scott.
so if the time came when a homeless person was sleeping in our parks, what would you do?
We have outlets through our dispatch that we can get them services, like the City Rescue Mission, Homeless Angels, Loaves and Fishery Ministries out of Lansing. There's one called Haven House. So there are outlets that we can get them services,
Okay.
the health department. So we, but this is needed to enforce that overnight camping that may happen.
Dan, go ahead.
And if you read through the ordinance that we're possibly going to adopt here, it talks about what would happen if the tarps, the tents, or whatever are set up. If someone comes back while the police are addressing that, those people would be given the opportunity to take all their things with them. We're not just gonna throw it in the trash or whatever. If it's come upon and no one is there, it's handled the way that the city handles any abandoned property, but if they're there, they can take it with them. Or if they show up while it's being taken care of, they will then again be given the opportunity to take their camping supplies with them.
Yes, John?
This is not, always specifically relevant to folks that, may be unhoused, but recently, the announcement, I saw this on Channel 10 News, the Community Mental Health Authority of Clinton, Eaton, and Ingham, they have now opened its crisis center on Lansing South Side, and there's round-the-clock access to mental health and addiction services, so that those are available as well, along with the resources that Chief White's mentioned.
Excellent. Terry?
Just a comment, the place I moved here, Colorado Springs, probably 5 years before we moved here, so about 2013, so about 13 years ago. The teenage girls in our youth group in our church would not use the trails along the river that goes to the middle of town. They wouldn't ride their bikes on that because the homeless people it was bad. That was 5 years before we moved here. 2 years before we moved here, the guys and I would take a walk along the trails there, at lunchtime from work, right? And we stopped doing that because it was too dangerous for us to go on the trails. So this is well thought through and it's well needed.
Yeah, I always know that we dot all of our i's and cross all of our t's. Dan, you have one more comment?
No, I was just wondering what
motion are you looking
needs to
for?
be.
Yeah,
I'm looking for the
so
rest of the motions.
I think it's motion to accept the first reading and then
Place the second reading.
place
for
the second reading
August
for
24th meeting.
August 24th. So I'm looking for that motion if someone would like to make it.
Make a motion that we accept the first reading of the ordinance amending chapter 34 of the Williamston Code of Ordinances regarding camping, or regarding overnight camping, and place the second reading at the city council meeting on August 24th.
Thank you. Do I have support?
Support.
Thank you, all of you. Holly, will you call the roll, please?
Ludwig,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Haynes,
Yeah.
Good,
Yes.
Van Elsberg,
Yes.
Rhines,
Yes.
Gilroy.
Yes. All right, our last action item of the evening is a application to appoint Shay Manowar to the Economic Development Corporation, TIPA 2A, TIPA 2B, for a term to expire 6/30 of 2027. We have the application in our packet. So I'm looking for a motion to move that forward to fill this seat.
I'll make a motion to appoint Shay Manowar to the Economic Development Corporation, TIPA 2A, TIPA 2B, for a term to expire 6/30/27.
Thank you so much. Do I have support?
Second.
Thank you. Holly, will you call the roll, please?
Hanson,
Yes.
Haynes,
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
Van Elsberg,
Yes.
Rhines,
Yes.
Gilroy,
Yes.
Ludwig.
Yes.
All right, moving into our discussion items, we have our McCormick Park potential project. I'll turn this over to City Manager John Hanson.
Okay, so the mayor and I have been discussing this project kind of behind the meter, if you will, and we had an introductory meeting with our chair of our parks a week ago, or last Thursday, to talk about the potential for a splash pad, some other amenities at McCormick Park. It's very preliminary, but we wanted to put this all in front of you to get your initial reaction, and there's no concept yet, but splash pads are not, they've gone kind of an evolution, I guess in my time in city government. At one point, they were like basically wading pools, and there's all kinds of issues with that, and they're merging more towards what is now open in Fowlerville. I don't know if you had a chance to go to their large community park, kind of like, you're in the high school area. It's very well used, that one is. Wasso nearby is currently undergoing a renovation for their splash pad. So that's really one of the feature part of the projects. I mean, as I said, we discussed this with the chair of parks. We haven't presented it to parks yet. It'll be on the parks agenda for next week. If there's a generally good feeling from council, that's something worth moving forward.
This is something that I have thought about for a long time and have had discussions with prior city managers, and it seems like our timing is right to do a project like this. Because we have such a robust, farmer's market in that parking lot, during our months of May to October. And then also another amenity for McCormick Park, because McCormick Park is our capstone park. We all know that. I mean, it has so many wonderful things, from the children's playgrounds to our pavilions that are able to be used by our community or visitors, our amazing band shell. So we met with Earl Wolf, and his smile was extremely big, because it's just something that would be another really nice feature. It would give us an opportunity to not only create a splash pad, but the splash pads have evolved, just like city manager said, that they can be an all year round water feature. It's a splash pad in the summertime. It can be turned into an ice rink in the winter. And then also with this, a more hardy pavilion, similar to maybe what Meridian Township has, but not as big. So we'll come up with some concept ideas that will go to Parks and Rec. We'll talk to them. I've already had several businesses approach regarding fundraisers, what they could do to help fundraise for this. I want to work with our community, because I think there should be some buy-in for it. And also we've had electrician and concrete companies come forward to offer their time, labor services for this project. So, like I said, we're going to put together some concept ideas. We'll start investigating what that looks like and placement in the park, and then we will bring it to Parks and Rec, we'll bring it to council, but yeah, I think it's another way to use space over in McCormick, not lose our green space, and to get Earl Wolf on board with the project for parks is almost that number one person that I want to talk to, and he was excited about it. Spencer, Dan, and then Terry. Spencer.
Acknowledging that this is the beginning of our conversation, do we have a rough estimate comparing what could be our splash pad to other communities as far as cost is concerned?
We're not even anywhere close to that.
No, we're at like the 50,000 foot
Right.
space shuttle
Yeah.
Sure.
up there. Concept.
Concepts of a plan.
Space shuttle, much higher.
Yeah, well, Dan.
My first gut reaction is, and I know we all want more things for kids to do, and I've got young kids and they would love it, but maintenance costs on a splash pad are huge. Not just, and I know we're talking about, we've got some people that are willing to volunteer time and labor and things like that, but ongoing maintenance, that's gonna, I wanna know what that looks like in our park budget, not for just next year, but like, what does it look like 5 years down the road when gaskets are going, and how big of a commitment is this 10 years from now?
Yep. Oh, absolutely.
I'm very worried about that personally.
Nope, absolutely, and I think that we have to be responsible, and we have to look at, what do the utilities look like, what does all of that look like? And we wouldn't move forward on something if that was gonna be a bad, but at least, we're in the discussion and ideas part of this, and that means, what does that look like on the backside once it's done? Terry?
So if I wanted to see something that's like, just sort of, this is our goal, this is an example of how it might turn out, I could go to Fowlerville.
Yes.
To their main park,
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of what we're thinking of.
Yep, you could check Fowlerville. Owasso actually is renovating their old splash pad and putting in new. There's one in Brighton. You can just,
Look at Howells.
yeah. Don't look at Howells because we're not doing that. But
Don't look at what-
or you can eat. Don't look at Howells. They're just way too big. It's like
Howell just opened one
like
that
an
they can't
aquatic
use.
center. Oh, they did?
So they opened one, from what I saw online, they opened one, it wasn't supposed to be a splash pad, but it was supposed to be a water feature that you could go in,
Oh.
but then people were running in it and it was unsafe to run in, so they ended up
No.
having to close it because you could be in it but not run in it, and kids wanna run in water.
No, that would not be this.
Okay, so Fowlerville is the
Fowlerville.
example, this is
Yeah.
what we might do.
Yeah.
Okay, just one,
Yeah.
thank you.
You can also just Google like basic splash pads. I'll give you a name of a company after the meeting. Yes, John?
Danny brought up maintenance, so my second concern is liability.
Mm-hmm, yep,
So, my
Yep.
expression is that even though I was, technically it was portfolio management for 40 years,
mhm, yep,
I always viewed myself as a
Sure.
risk manager.
absolutely.
Where-
And we'll talk to other communities that do have these, to make, see what, what they had to do to put it together, implement it, liability, all of that. And we're not just gonna throw a slip and slide over in the park and let kids at it.
It does sound cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, all right. Next, we have our Tifa Community Service Building renovation.
At the last meeting of TIFA, I just gave a real quick presentation of the community service building. It's the older, it's a block building with a metal roof. It's right next to the water tower on Elevator Street. And just provided some overall concepts of what we might be able to do there. I mean, really leaning towards the possibility of ultimately having that be our council chamber and then where people would vote. The building needs a lot of work. So we're just, again, in this project, early stages, but I just wanted to let council know, we did present it at the last TIFA meeting. I'll be presenting a little bit more a week from today. So we do have a TIFA meeting next Monday per the regular schedule. More to come on that. I did not want to bring up the concepts in, because we're not even close. I mean, we may get into it. The first step is we'll get someone from a structural engineering standpoint to look at it, and they may say, yeah, you can save the building, you can, spend $3 million to build $1 million building, which obviously we're not gonna do. So we're definitely gonna look into it. We did have some money in the TIFA budget last year and this year it's a small amount. I think it's the budget amount's $50,000 to put some money into the building if necessary. So we may end up doing that before winter comes, but just so everybody's clear on the building, it's if you go down Elevator or Norma Jean Court, it's the older building. It's got a little bit of on the west side, it's kind of overgrown with pine trees, but it's that building out there. It's about 3,200 square feet, give or take. And right now, it's a pretty wide open building. We do use it for storage of some DPW equipment, and there is a mezzanine, like a mezzanine tool crib in there too.
Yeah, Dan?
Are there bathrooms in there at all?
There are none.
There are not. Is it if it can be saved at a reasonable cost and it's cost effective to do so, and council, all the things, right? Is that, I know elections are currently held at the middle school, is that a space that
Yes.
could possibly house something like that?
Correct. Yep.
I think once we get through what it would cost to save the building, and if it's affordable, that's when we would bring, it doesn't do us any good to show you concepts if we can't afford it, like I said, a $3 million building for a $1 million building. But the concepts that John did share with TIFA made all of us perk up, because it would be a perfect space for elections, for any of our board meetings, not just council, and then down the road give us an opportunity to do something more with this building in
Part of
the
the,
interior.
see if I can.
Yes, yes.
Part of the preliminary look at it was the block diagramming for a building of that size, what that would look like with the council chamber, the presentation space, and the place for the people that attend the meetings, but then also a circulation concept if it was set up for elections. And there's, you'd be surprised, there's there's a million different iterations of that theme, and making sure that, this room for what it is, it's actually very efficiently planned. There's not a lot of wasted space between council and the audience. It's a little cramped, we all know that, and we certainly could have the full-blown elections in here. So that's the programming theme, is to it's dual purpose, is to have room for our meetings, but also to have a big enough to be the election space. And if it isn't big enough for that, then we should, we can pivot and do something else.
So, you said, you got a number, 3,400 square feet or
About
something?
3,200.
Compared to this room right here, is like 3 times this or 2.5 times this?
It's about twice the size.
Oh, twice the size,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Any other questions? Yes, Spencer?
Could it be used for programming outside of the city's
Absolutely,
needs?
yeah.
Do other communities that have space like that use a fee-for-service model, or?
Yeah, it's a very modest, 25 to $100, depending on, what you're gonna do in there. Typically, if you're gonna allow food, it's a little bit more, and you have to have a deposit in case somebody, spills the coffee and it's staying on the carpet. So.
And it would be that, if we were to do this, it'd be that space that we wouldn't have to go over and use the middle school common area anymore, because it would be double this size, so we'd be able to have, good town hall size meetings over there. Again, all of our different boards can meet over there. So, it's a great idea of repurposing a building that we already own if the fees, or if the renovation fee, costs are not exorbitant. Yes,
I
Terry?
like the idea of a profit center, where we actually generate cash. That's,
Well then,
rent a hall, at a reasonable
yeah, that's the
number. I
first
mean,
one.
that's, wow.
Just kind of last point on that, it is in the TIF district, so it's
Yeah.
eligible for TIF
Yeah.
funds.
Yeah.
That's a
Yes,
very,
the big
that's a
one.
very good idea.
yeah, I think so. And it's a good use of a building that we already have. Anything else on that one? No? All right. Main force safety improvements. Any updates from MDOT?
We will have a contract for the signals to present to all of you at our next council meeting. And they're looking at this as a April, May of 2027 project. So there is a cost share that's part of it, because we are going from the string signal to the mast arms. But we'll present that as part of the, where that money will be coming from, and it's part of the contract. I will tell you that the contract is written, it's $100,000 to do that enhancement, but we do have funding with roads and UVA to pay for that. And again, the idea, not to steal too far ahead, but it is on the agenda discussion. If we go with the string signal improvements, that we would have to go start all over again with mast arms if we want to get to, that's why we're paying for the enhancement.
Yeah.
One, it does look better, but the mast arms are long enough that they'll have a turn signal
Yes.
With a turn
Space
lane.
for it.
Yeah,
That's the
sorry.
argument.
No, that's okay, man.
That was gonna be my question, was I know that's always been the end goal, was you got to get the mast arms to be able to move. And has there been any discussion? I know they wanted the curtilage with Putnam and all the other stuff, but does it look like eventually we're gonna get to that turn signal?
So paving railroad was a 120-year project. This left turn lane, ever since I've been involved with
Barry?
it's been historic. Okay, I'm ready to have that come to a
Lose it
conclusion.
to longevity.
That's true, but we do finally get things done, come on.
Just one more question.
My last, I'm sorry, John, go ahead.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic, I was turning left, going north from Grand River on Sunday, and my wife is a passenger, I'm not criticizing my wife, turns green, she goes, "You can turn now," and I go, "Well, the two young ladies crossing the street might have a problem with that."
Oh, all right.
And my
So
wife
you
never, well,
You were aware, you were aware.
she didn't editorialize after that, so, yes.
That's easy to do.
Yeah.
It really
John,
is.
with these mast arms, with this enhancement, is this also going to include our new pedestrian cross?
It will,
Wow.
and the part of the project is the activated signal crossings and then the countdown clocks for
Yep.
crossing. And then we'll be able to do, finally, when they're done with that, because we didn't want to, just to kind of recap on that, we didn't want to put these enhanced colored crosswalks, which are going to be our cost, but those are relatively minimal in the scheme of things. We didn't want to do that and then have them come through their construction project and, kind of mess those up on day one. They'd only be, we'd only have them out there for like 6 months before they would start their project.
All right. Okay, our last discussion item is the item that we added, and that is occupancy permits for the Rowley Road Development Project. And so, Mr. Haynes, you asked for this to be added as a discussion item. I will let you lead this conversation.
Yeah, to get the discussion started, I solicited both the mayor and the city manager that I'm confused as far as any type of certificate of occupancy, why they are being issued to either the people that are purchasing the properties or the developer or the Raleigh development.
And I do believe that our city manager did respond to that. John, I'll let you go ahead and respond, and it has to do with the actual occupancy permits
Sure.
from the Livingston County Building Department,
Right.
so.
So just to recap, there's 50 total units out there in 13 buildings. There's 12 quadplexes and there's gonna be 1 duplex. So the construction had come to a phase where 6 of the units were ready for completion and all the trade permits were done. And so the county building department that we use, Livingston County, we contract with them. I know it gets confusing because we're working it, but we contract with Livingston. They had approached me about issuing C of Os for those units. And initially, they said they wanted to issue permanent C of Os for those buildings. And I said absolutely not, that we can issue temporary certificates of occupancy with the caveat that landscaping has to be completed by October 1st for those units that are in those buildings. So that's where we're at.
Okay.
So they haven't actually moved in yet,
I mean, Mr. Moulton is here, he can probably answer that better than I have, but they do have the ability, folks can start moving in,
but you're still holding them to the site plan.
Correct.
They had to recreate a new site plan idea.
which was approved in
Yes.
June,
That was
yeah.
approved, okay, okay.
So I do have a question for Mr. Moulton then, because we are getting towards the end of summer. You have this new site plan that is a more robust site plan for that, for the front of your property. When do you anticipate being able to start doing that robust planting with all of those trees and the shrubs, at the front of the property?
Well, you know, it's all a process, and the landscaping has begun.
Okay,
We have the fronts of 5 buildings, the shrubs planted and the trees planted now.
my concern is that property line that sits to the east, and so that's my question that I'm directing to.
Yeah, it's just all part of it, it's all part of the revised plan,
Okay.
and it'll be installed, you know, in due time.
Okay,
And we held off starting the landscaping early on because it was just so hot.
mhm,
It was absolutely not the right time to plant grass. And the trees, shrubs and trees, we wouldn't be able to keep them alive.
okay,
So, you know, now with the rain that we've had, we've got quite a bit planted. And like Mr. Hannafin mentioned, you know, by the 1st of October, we'll have it all in.
okay,
When that's gonna be started, I mean, I don't know, soon.
okay,
And the leasing is going very well right now.
all right. John, I think your hand went up when, John was talking.
I think Danny beat me.
Okay, Danny, all right. Dan.
So, these are temporary certificate of occupancy, so I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt, not trying to say you're not doing what you're saying you're doing. If the site plan is not completed by October 1st, where the temporary C of O is permanent until then, what happens?
Yeah, there's 2 things. If there's not substantial on the landscape progress, there won't be any temporary C of Os issued beyond what's already there.
Okay.
And then we can contemplate what our next action would be, up to and including it's a temporary and it's conditional, which means it expires October 1st, so potentially we could evict folks, start that process.
So basically, everything was ready to go with these buildings.
Right.
The people that process our building permits and everything came to us and said, hey, we're ready to issue permanent
Correct.
C of Os.
And we asked for
said temporary because these things had not been completed yet and we're
That's right.
gonna give them this additional time to
Correct.
complete those.
Correct. And that's not an unusual process. I mean, for example, the senior center had a temporary C of O when they were finalizing their sprinkler system, like in building fire department.
And one more thing, and then I'll cede the floor.
Okay.
Mr. Moulton's correct, this is 100% the wrong time of year to be planting large land shrubbery, trees.
Yeah.
I'm having a very hard time right now keeping a donated tree at the cemetery that was dropped off in July alive right now because so he's not trying to pull the wool over our eyes when he's saying he waited to try and.
And, you know, temporary COs it's a very common thing. I mean, I've been doing this for 50 years.
Okay, all right, and you're comfortable with that, so that's good. That's good, right? Comfortable with that?
Yeah,
It is what it is?
it is what it is.
All right, Terry?
And just for what it's worth, I swung past the development today to take a look, and the shrubs look nice. It's the beginning of, you can, they're, at the very end, they're just starting on the very beginnings, and they've got the frame and all that, but on this end over here by the street, they look like it's a little messy and construction-y, but they're ready to move into, and the shrubberies look good. So.
You know, that's one thing, you're right about that. That's one thing I need to mention too. You know, because of, you know, the winter we had and the spring we had with all the mud and, you know, the rain and all that. We just completed the framing on our 10th building a week ago. So, you know, we'll landscape those buildings when they're ready to be landscaped. You know, if that's September the 21st or October the 15th, you know, we're not gonna put the landscaping in and then trample it down trying to put the siding and the roofing in the buildings.
Right.
So it's all a construction process.
Right. My last question for you, Mr. Moulton, would be, with your landscaping, does it have a warranty? If trees get planted, and again, I'm going back to that east property line where you have to be more robust. If trees get planted this fall and some of them fail, will there be a warranty in place for replacement?
Yes, we have a year warranty from our subcontractor.
Okay.
And we're basically replacing beautiful trees where we had taken out dead trees, so.
Yes. Okay. Yes, John?
Just on that point, I mean, part of the zoning ordinance, if you have a separation, a required landscape buffer and the trees die at any time, you're required to place them. So
Okay.
there's a project west of town on Grand River where it's kind of stalled out, but on a portion of that property, they had removed the pine trees, I think probably in anticipation of placing new ones when they completed their parking lot. But they're actually, they've gotten a code letter from me that they need to replace the pine trees that separate their office building from the neighborhood.
Okay.
So that's an ongoing,
All right.
that's an ongoing
Okay.
obligation of the property.
All right. John?
Yeah, everything that's been said, it sounds sensible, but I don't wanna have to go through our minutes and the recordings of our meetings. That was not the understanding. The understanding was they would do their landscape, make the neighbors happy, and then certificates of occupancy. So I like what I'm hearing here, but we've lost our leverage.
I'm gonna ask General Counsel, do you have any comments on this regarding the temporary occupancy being issued?
It's conditional,
Okay.
and as was mentioned, it would expire if the condition is not met by the time provided. Sounds like the plantings are underway and will be completed for those from that property line, as well as the structures that are slated for occupancy initially.
Spencer?
I'm sensing that it's very unlikely that the landscaping's not done by October 1st, but in that event, Mr. Moulton, have you already informed tenants that the certificate of occupancy could be not issued permanently, or how would that process look?
Absolutely not. Are you kidding? Absolutely not.
So tenants don't know that?
They don't know, and we're not gonna move them out. I'm telling you that. It's not gonna happen.
So again, we've lost our leverage. That was the whole point of prior discussions with certificates of occupancy.
Well, we haven't solved it though, because they
All right.
can't, more can't move in. So there's a, right? If they don't do what they're supposed to do, no one else can move in, so we still have that leverage, right?
Correct.
That's correct.
That is correct. All right. Dan? So your hand go up.
It sounds like I know you're upset that they got any certificate of occupancy. But we told them that our building department to give them a temporary, when under normal circumstances, they would have given them a permanent one. It sounds like the senior center, when they were in a similar situation, not landscaping, but still not meeting requirements, they received a temporary certificate of occupancy. And my question to you is, should we have not given the senior center a temporary certificate of occupancy when they were in compliance with everything but one thing, and we gave them additional time and allowed them to use the building? Should we not do this at all?
Are you directing that question?
Yeah.
I wasn't part of that plan, but I was a part of I was part of this meetings to try to keep the residents and the taxpayers to the east of that development happy. And we were told that we would make them happy because the landscaping would be done before the certificates of occupancy were issued. Don't make me get the video recordings of our meetings. That was the understanding.
Don't get.
Okay, listen. What are our next steps then? We've got,
I think they've been laid out.
Yeah.
What
I
happens
mean,
if?
so we've
everything's all laid out?
got 5 units that have been issued,
Sites.
5 sites that have been issued temporary.
Mhm.
We have our developer here saying that the landscaping, and it's the caveat on those temporaries, that it will be done by October 1st. Does that mean that Livingston County is not going to be issuing any more temporary occupancy prior to October 1st? Or are they gonna continue to issue temporary and,
I won't allow that,
okay, all right,
because the city is the one who ultimately issues the certificate.
okay,
The building department does it on our behalf,
okay,
and they can make a request when the building project is done,
okay.
but there won't be any more
Okay.
beyond if the landscaping's not done.
Yes, Terry?
I would question the need for leverage, you know? I mean, pretty much what the developer has said he's gonna do is what he's done. I don't know that we need leverage to be sure that he does what he says he's gonna do. That's what he's did in the past, and he's done it for lots of years. So maybe we've lost, I think we still have leverage, but even if we have lost leverage, well, so what? Yeah. The landscaping is gonna go in and it's gonna look nice. So there you go.
Yes, Tim?
So if you're choosing not to tell them that they could be, you're gonna get this done, you're very confident about it, that's why you're saying you're not gonna say nothing, but in the event that the city, even though you don't tell them, the city still can still start evicting people if you don't have those things done. I think it's on your behalf with not telling them that, if the city has to take action because things aren't completed.
That is so unusual. I mean, that is.
I don't know, I just
I
go
mean-
by what we're discussing here. I know you're gonna get done.
Sounds like
And I
sorry to
think-
interrupt, but sounds like a really good reason to get the landscaping done.
And I think it's a
Yeah.
waste, it would be a complete waste, especially in this month, to put the landscaping in and have it die and have to redo it. That's just senseless. And he doesn't have to have anything done till October 1st. So legally, he's clear.
He could have waited until October or November for the tenants to move in,
Yeah, but
just as easily, huh?
He could have,
No,
and
not just as easily. That's rent that's gonna go to the owner.
Yeah, I'm being facetious. I know from a business perspective why
Well,
the
of course.
temporaries
So,
were issued.
It is a valuable thing. Why should we withhold that from him?
Because we don't represent the developer, we represent the residents and taxpayers that
We
we
represent the entire city. He's
speaking
a
of-
property owner.
We should probably go on.
Both sides.
that's pointless.
yeah. I think that the landscaping definitely needs to get done sooner rather than later. We are moving into these last few months of summer. You've got 3 months to
No,
get,
it's 6 weeks.
actually, you've got two months,
6 weeks.
6 weeks to get the landscaping done.
Yeah.
I'd hate to see a stop happen over there. We do need to hold you to accountability of making sure that landscaping is done by October 1st. What I'm hearing from my city manager is no more temporaries, bless you, will be issued. And so there will be milestone checks then to make sure this is complete. Okay. All right.
And thanks for being here tonight.
Well, it's my pleasure.
All right, that concludes our discussion items for this evening. Moving along on our agenda, we have our correspondence received, which is none. We're gonna move into our department head reports. We do have our chief of, well, let's go back over to city manager. Do you have anything else to share, John?
Yeah, a couple things. I'm happy to announce that Mill and Railroad progress and industrial are substantially complete. Most 99.9% of the restoration is done. There's some mulch lights out there. That was kind of the final phase. Mill Street, we expect sidewalks to be done in the next couple weeks. We did peel that part of the contract away from Reeve Riley. Things went really well. Kelly Jones is here from Spicer if you have any questions for them, but really happy the projects were done on time and complete and with as minimal disruption as possible. Had a little bit of water there this morning. There were still some silt bags as required by soil erosion that were in some of the drains, but we were able to manage to do that. So those projects went really, really well. The county trail millage did pass last Tuesday, and so that means that our Honor for All project, that we were in the queue for an $800,000 grant. So we'll be able to execute that project in 2029, so that's good news. And then as part of that millage approval, there's $400,000 plus or minus for our partnership with Williamston Township and Meridian Township for keeping the Red Cedar River Trail clear and also some improvements on that. So there's a lot of good stuff happening. There's a number of new businesses that will be moving in town and opening soon, but we'll have a more full report on that at the next council meeting.
Excellent. Kelly, did you find anything unusual over on Railroad through this entire project?
No, things were pretty standard.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Our very last dirt road in Williamston is no longer.
There was
I mean,
some
that took us
chunks
longer
of
than
concrete
110
that
years.
we,
Is Mill done?
Mill's done too.
Oh, way to go.
I know, right? The only thing we need to finish is Cedar Street where there's the, dirt parking lot by the kayak launch. Dirt free. Well, thank you so much for being here. All right, Chief,
Yes.
got your report in here, but more importantly, let's hear about National Night Out.
Yeah, so National Night Out was a success. We had more vendors, more participants this year than any other year, and the metrics supported that. But it was a great event. We had a lot of positive comments, and next year's date is August 3rd. We've already started the planning process for that. Other than National Night Out, our staff assisted NISA with Camp 911 out at Camp Waupee. That's always fun with 90 campers out there, giving them stickers and whatnot, kind of a touch a truck type thing. And Reserve Officer Alley gave a presentation at the Williamston Area Senior Center on scams and frauds. And it's amazing when he gives that talk, how many people, when he asks how many seniors, how many have been scammed or attempted to be scams, dozens of hands go up. So, really important. But yeah, the biggest thing, National Night Out, it was widely successful.
Excellent. How many other entities come into that? Because I know you had mentioned that you reach out to our surrounding municipalities, townships and all that. So when you reach out, how many other entities come in?
Yeah, so just an example, MSU Police were there, the Sheriff's Office, the Eagan County Dive Team, the Eagan County SRT Team, the State Police.
Nice.
So when I reach out, virtually everyone sends somebody.
All right.
In fact, they send someone instead of their own National Night Out, so.
All right.
Because
You're a hard person to say no to.
Yeah, I am. And we actually have one of the biggest National Night Outs. In fact, the MSU officer said that the Williamston National Night Out's bigger than the one MSU East Lansing have. Not to degrade theirs, but ours is better.
Excellent. How many hot dogs?
1,200 this year.
Awesome. That's great. That's fabulous.
I only ate a couple hundred.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you gotta put on a little weight.
And it is as a bonus, whatever food is left over, we take to the food bank, and Ms. Cutshall was very happy with the additional food, because all the hot dogs they could freeze,
Excellent.
and so it has a secondary benefit as well.
Excellent, wonderful. Well, thanks for doing such good work, and thanks for starting again to make next year even bigger and better.
August 3rd.
All right, excellent. Holly, we have your report. Thank you so much. I'm gonna turn it over to you so you can fill everybody in.
Yeah. To everybody that turned up on election day, I saw a lot of you. I saw the mayor actually early voting, which was really nice.
And can I just tell you, this room, it does work.
It works.
It works very well, and the volunteers, your election board volunteers are great.
Yep, everybody did a phenomenal job throughout the practically 2 weeks there is of elections.
Yeah.
It is 9 days of early in-person voting, and then of course we have the very long election day, which can be up to 17, 18 hours for our workers. So they do an awesome job. They really stick with it. We're always looking for more inspectors, so if you're really interested in it, we do pay hourly, we pay for training and mileage. So we would like to get some more volunteers for that. My deputy did an awesome job throughout the whole election season. We start probably in May, getting everything started and ready right after the May election. So we don't have any breaks in between, and we're already getting ready for the November election. So it's always very, very busy these election years.
And you've got noted on here too, so November 3rd, we have early voting from October 24th to November 1st. Absentee ballots go out end of September, so you really don't get a break, do you? All right, well, we appreciate it all, and then we've also got some board vacancies. Can you tell us about those?
We do have a couple left. We have a lot on DDA right now. We have 4 vacancies on the DDA. Planning Commission has one now with Spencer issuing his resignation. Zoning Board of Appeals still has 1 vacancy, and then the Board of Review has an alternate vacancy, but it does have a full slate if we need it.
Well, council members, if you know of anybody that is looking to fill some free time, we would love to fill these seats. Downtown Development Authority, it does need to be a business owner within our downtown development district. I believe our 2 residents, we have 1 resident seat still open, because Narda is a resident, correct?
Yes, we
so
could have 1 more. though.
We can do 1 resident of the downtown development district that could sit on that board. Right now, all of our boards do have quorum. So we aren't in jeopardy of not being able to have any of our boards meet. However, I would love to get these seats filled. So if you know somebody, please have them go to City Hall and fill out an application.
I'm just curious, how did you earn this $3,155.64 check?
Okay, so the May election, we did receive a reimbursement for that because of wages and everything, so that's all our inspectors' wages. We do have to rent a porta potty for the middle school, and we do pay for our machines all to be tested and everything, so all that gets charged to Ingham Intermediate
They paid
for
for that.
reimbursement, so yes.
Okay, good,
I
cool.
pay for the pizza.
We didn't pay for the pizza.
Yes, John.
I didn't see any stats. Are you able to tell us how many people voted absentee?
It was
It's in the second.
891,
Yeah.
Total, how many?
891.
Okay.
Second paragraph.
Yeah, we were actually gone,
Yeah.
but we voted absentee for years, but this time we were actually gone, so I was curious.
And just to go over those stats for our viewing community, we had 891 absentee ballots that were processed, 68 voters that participated in early in-person voting, 380 voters that cast their ballots on election day in person. This is a big November general election that's coming up, so you know, everybody has their ability to vote. Make sure you register to vote. Holly, how late can somebody register to vote before November 3rd?
The day of
The day of.
election.
So there's no excuses,
You're
get out there,
registered.
cast your vote. If you've never voted, this year would be a good year to do that. All right, well, thank you so much again. Thank you for everything that you and Barb do and your election inspectors. We couldn't do it without all of you. We really appreciate that. Moving along on our agenda, we've got our committee, subcommittee reports. Did anybody have any meetings since our last time that we were together as council? No?
I do have
yes.
something, piece of news from NISA. The member at large, Franz Wilbanks, died a week and a half
Did he
ago.
really?
No.
Franz Wilbanks, he went to sleep and he
Franz
didn't
died?
wake up. Or he woke up in the presence of God, depending on how you look at it.
Oh my goodness,
But
okay.
apparently there's no funeral and there's, I don't know what the burial arrangements are or anything like that. But it's kind of it's a shocker.
That is a shocker.
I don't think he was as old as me. He certainly wasn't on that, people you'd expect to die in the next couple of years.
Right, well, that's sad.
So,
Our best wishes go out to Franz's family then.
yeah.
That is sad news. Thank you for sharing with us. We appreciate that. Audience participation, we have another opportunity. If anybody's in the audience that would like to come up, 5 minutes per presentation. All right, council member comments, I'll start with Tim.
Yeah, the splash pad and stuff like that, that sounds kind of big deal depending on how it all works out. But one simple thing I would like to see before that happens, and I don't think it's gonna cost the city too much money. We do something with our picnic tables because people can't put a drink in.
Okay. All right.
So that's something I think we should like to discuss. We see people around the pavilion, but yet they really can't use many of those picnic tables because they need flat tops. So just something.
Some of them are Trex wood, right? Some of them we have composite wood, so maybe we can do an inventory of what needs to be swapped over to composite. Yeah, all right, thanks for bringing that up. Don't want anybody's drink to spill. All right, Scott.
Yeah, so the subject of the homeless came up, and I have an experience too, that I want to share here. This happened at our prize maybe 5 or 6 years ago. I was at Monroe Community Church, and near me was a display of homeless people's signs, like hundreds on the wall. And standing in front of that and reading things like, I didn't expect that in up here. And then the guy who put up the sign was from Texas, put up the display, and his comment was that the thing that drives the homeless population the craziest is invisibility. Like, his comment was something to the effect like, I'd rather you scream at me, go get a job than just not see me. So anyway, I'm sharing that with you because it came into my head. There you go.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Dan.
No comments.
All right. Terry.
Okay, I think I've said this before, but I'll say it again because the paving operation has come to a conclusion. 6 years ago, when I was going to start doing this thing, I read a book about why it is the causes of small towns going bankrupt. And the main thing, there's other things that contribute, but the main thing is not keeping track of the roads, not maintaining the roads. Because the citizens know when the roads go bad, and then they get up in arms. And then they say, you have to fix the roads. And if you haven't been keeping track of the roads, then you have to borrow a huge amount of money. And that's the beginning of the downward spiral that ends up in bankruptcy. So, it looks so good, the industrial area, railroad, the whole thing, and what was the other, Mullet was also. Yeah.
Mullet was done
So-
last year, Mill, and railroad curves around a Mill.
Yeah, and then Lloyd was done a few years, 3 years ago.
Yeah,
And
all of
North
that.
Putnam, and then Middle was done 8 years ago. Anyway, so, the Navy term is Bravo Zulu, meaning well done.
All right.
Our city has done really well.
All right, thank you. Spencer, this is your first council meeting. Are you going to come back for another?
I think I will.
All right, excellent.
In that vein, thank you everyone for welcoming me, and I'm excited to work on behalf of our residents. 2 notes of positivity I'll leave out in the open. One, thinking about the Riverwalk development, something I hear a lot among our residents is the need for more housing. And I hope that's not lost in our conversation because that's what that project is. It's more housing, more units for people to fall in love with Williamston, like my family did. Also, I want to give a resounding shout out to our city staff for facilitating the August 4th primary election, and note that Looks like we had voter turnout around 42 2/3%, and that statewide it was 30%. So that means our voters turned out increasingly more than the average Michigan community. So I think that's something to highlight and celebrate.
All right, thank you. Thanks for being here. John?
Yep, I would very much appreciate maybe a report from EDC at our next meeting with regard to potential development of the business park. Just where are we? Are we gonna lose a whole year of taxes with Ranger, dropping off, things like that. I would really appreciate a report next meeting.
Excellent. I don't want to say that summer is winding down, but we are in the dog days of summer. It's August. And with that, we do have our Dog Days of Summer event that is coming up. We will have our pup crawl on August 20th. What?
Oh, the pub crawl is the 21st.
The pup call is the 21st, and then on Sunday, over at the band shell, we will be doing all of our very, very fun, highly contested with the dogs in our community, all the different contests. The fastest wagging tail, who can eat a pup cup the fastest, dog tricks, human and dog tricks, you name it. It's so much fun.
The fastest wagging tail.
It's the happiest. It's the
Police
happiest.
have to be out there with the radar unit.
We have deputy, are we doing deputy dog this year? We are doing deputy dog, and that is the best contest because deputy dog gets an actual badge. So, and they're deputy dog for a year, but it's just such a fun event. It's just another, thing for us to do in the community, to have some fun. Get some, the businesses put out dog bowls and everything, and not just for dogs. I mean, if somebody wants to walk a cat or a peacock down the street, let them. But then we're gonna be rolling into September with our So Long to Summer patio party throughout the community. And then that very next Sunday is going to be Hello Fall with our farmers market doing their very, very first farm to table dinner. Tickets are still available. You can buy those tickets at the farmers market. I think at last count, there was like 40 tickets sold.
I think it's 50 now.
50, so they have enough, they have 100 seats available. And it is our very own chefs from that new place that will be doing the cooking for that event with produce and local goods from our farmers market and from our local vendors. So
That's 5 courses.
5 courses, so
With
and-
wine.
Yes, beer and wine will be
Yeah, they know what
available.
they're doing.
Yeah, they do, yeah, they do. So if you've not gotten a ticket for that and you wanna have a really good, time, but that's gonna be another fun weekend, it's the 19th and 20th of September. Then we will roll into Halloween, and then we will roll into the holidays, but, we still have a lot of summer left to go. I think there's still a couple more, concerts in the park, 2 more, that are coming up, so.
When do we begin the school thing with the ballet and all that?
Oh, yes, what is the first day of school, Chief? August?
August 19th.
August 19th, and I know Chief
It's
will
in
be,
9 days.
Chief will be prepared with his,
Are we doing on the big loop thing?
Same as last year.
yep, and you'll have your crossing guards, and everything's gonna be perfect.
Okay,
Yep,
It is.
nothing's changed since last year so far.
okay, wow.
But get out there, enjoy this last little bit of summer. I know it's starting to get dark a little bit earlier. But get out there and enjoy it because and football's starting too, for anybody that, has kids playing football, this guy. Football's coming up and, before you know it, fall will be here and it'll be Friday Night Lights and just more and more events in our community. I think that is it for this evening. I will go ahead and call to close at 7:08.